Wow. I'm going to take a page from my good friend Charles Barkley and say, this is awesome. I will get to you guys in a minute, but first I'd like to thank Jerry Colangelo and the Hall of Fame Selection Committee. I don't take moments like this for granted. I am so honored to be a part of this great evening with all these great players. I'd also like to congratulate the 2012 class. It's special for me because I'm going in with two men I grew up basically admiring so much. Jamal, from your days at UCLA and with the Lakers, so many times in the backyard trying to emulate that shot, to no success, every coach and players trying to change my form, and I would always tell them, look at Silk. So congratulations to you and thank you. And we saw the video before. I call him my uncle, Uncle Mel Daniels. Mel was the second face I saw when I was drafted in 1987. And I'm here to say this, without him, Roger Brown, Slick Leonard, and those great ABA Pacers, they set the standard for what all Indiana Pacer teams have achieved. So CeCe, Mel, congratulations to you as well. I'm sure you guys are wondering why these three. Obviously, it takes a village, but I've known Charles for almost 20 years. And I actually met him at Magic's first Midsummer's game at Pauley Pavilion when I was a senior. And you fast forward 10 years later, we're winning gold for our country in Atlanta. I really do appreciate your friendship for over the years. And Magic, the first day I stepped onto the UCLA campus, you, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper took me underneath your wing. And you introduced me to the Breakfast Club, getting up early, getting our shots up, running the track stadium. But I will say this about Magic. Magic taught me how to lie and cheat. And let me explain. For those of you, and there's a lot that are in the audience, if you've ever played Magic in a pickup game and you are on the opposing team and the game is tied, you have no shot of winning that game. Right, Bill? But as a freshman, he was lying and cheating to us all the time. But 25 years later, Buck, you were teaching me win by any means necessary. So thank you. Obviously, basketball is a team game. I cannot name all the teammates I've had over 25 plus years, but what I can do is, if any of them actually made the trek here to the hall, can you please stand up so I can give you a standing ovation for those who played with me? Very fortunate to play under some great coaches. My high school coaches here, Arlo Guard. Thank you, Coach Guard, for instilling the fundamentals of the game at such a young age, which has helped later on throughout my career. I'd like to thank the late, great Walt Hazard. And I know the Hazard family was here at UCLA, Jaleesa, Rashid. Ms. Hazard, thank you for all those late night talks at UCLA. And the good thing about it was none of those things had to do with basketball. They were all about life, and you helped me to mature and become a man. So thank you and Coach so much for everything you have done in my career. From Hall of Famer Coach Jack Ramsey, who taught me about physical fitness, to Larry Bird, who taught me about work ethic. What's funny is, people say you made so many shots under, so much duress and pressure. I'll tell you what pressure is. pressure is playing for Larry Bird. Not only playing for Larry Bird, but having to go to the Garden as he's coming back and win those games for Larry Bird. And Coach, for the way, for your 3-year run, you were undefeated as we went to the Boston Garden every time. We did not lose one. Well, I might have been hurt. Oh, you remember that one, huh? Okay. Obviously, game management for Rick Carlisle, Larry Brown, who really took myself and the Pacers to a different level. I know Isaiah's here. All you great coaches, thank you guys so much. I took something from each and every one of you. The man that was the architect that surrounded me with such great talent and coaches, the guy that took a gamble on me in 1987, I gotta say thank you so much to Donnie Walsh. When I went on my visit in '87, Donnie may have said 10, 15 words to me, so I didn't think I was coming to Indiana whatsoever, but Donnie, thank you so much for taking a gamble on a skinny kid with big ears from Riverside, California. I truly do appreciate it, and you know, when I think of Donnie, I've got to say thank you to Arn Tellem, who has been my agent for all those 18 years. You and Donnie had at times a loving and sometimes contentious relationship, but it was your job to keep me in Indiana. So Arn, thank you so much. You know, playing in a small market for 18 years, you really get to know your neighbors very well. Right now, I want to say thank you to the great state of Indiana and all the fans that made the journey here to Springfield. It wasn't always pretty. I remember in 1987 running out of the tunnel at Market Square Arena, and they had the black curtains down, and there was only 4,000 or 5,000 people in the stands. And I'm saying to myself, what have I gotten myself into? But we learned to trust one another. Obviously, winning helped, and the rest is here. So, Pacer Nation, Blue and Gold, thank you guys so much. We all know you can't play basketball forever, so I'd like to thank this new journey I'm on with my new family, and it starts with David Levy and Turner and all the great people I work with at TNT. You guys allow us, well, not allow us, you allow Charles to say whatever he wants. And little Steve Kerr and myself have to clean it up. But thank you to the Turner family. It's been a fantastic ride, and I've saved somewhat the best for last, is my family. But before I get to them, there's one lady that deserves probably the biggest recognition for everyone and why I'm here. Cheryl, a lot of people wish that they could be in a house with the greatest of anything. I just so happen to live across the hall from absolutely, positively, the greatest women's basketball player ever. And I'm proud to say I am not on this stage if it wasn't for you, Cheryl Dean. We as a Miller family are not held at a high level if it wasn't for you. We rode your shoulders all the way here. So thank you very much. Obviously, I'd like to thank, when we're talking about my family, my mom and dad. Dad, you made sure we had shoes, gloves, bats, balls, socks, all while serving your country for 26 years in the Air Force. You know, what's interesting is when Cheryl and I played in high school, normally my dad would be at Cheryl's game, and my mom, who is not with us today but is wrapped around all of us, in those angel wings would be at my games, and you guys always found time, not necessarily with Cheryl and our games, but all of us. You made time to be there for all of us. So again, Dad, Mom, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. Saul Jr., you're the best athlete in our family, but you decided to follow in Dad's footsteps and become a musician, and you served our country for 29 years in the Air Force. Daryl, you were the first in the professional ranks, and look, Cheryl and I are so grateful that you and Saul allowed us to tag along for those epic 2-on-2 games in the backyard. Thank you so much. And Tammy, you've had that open door policy. Whenever we needed something, we could call on you. And Gail DiAgostino, your last name is not Miller, but it should be. Almost 30 years now from dealing with Arn and the Pacers, all the way to now dealing with Turner and our Boom Baby Productions. Thank you so much for being that trusted advisor, someone I could lean on and telling me like it is. So thank you guys very much for my family. Nieces, nephews, godson, thank you guys for always keeping us laughing. It's interesting being on this stage and on this pulpit, as I call it, as Reverend Jackson would say. You know, I like to come clean and confess some sins to a few of you. Greg Anthony, my compadre with NBA TV, I don't know if he's here or not, but I'm sure he'll get word of this. I've got to say, in 1995, as you saw in the video, yeah, I pushed. I'm sorry. The ref didn't call it. I went with it, like Magic says, by any means necessary. So I apologize. I've never said that publicly, so Greg, okay, I shoved you and kept you down. To my fierce rival in the Central Division, yeah, Michael, I did push you too. But I've seen you do it so many other times to so many other players. I figured it was okay. You know, it's funny, a lot of people say, why didn't you ever talk to Michael Jordan? I was like, do you want that tongue coming out at you? But I know MJ will not remember this story, but my rookie year, and as you all know, rookies try to go 110%, and it was a preseason game, and we were playing in some small town somewhere, as most preseason games are. And I'm jacked up. Most veterans don't want to play preseason games, and Chuck Person, who was the Rookie of the year before, who was another huge trash talker. We're going against Chicago, and in the first half, I have 10, Michael has 8, somewhat going through the motions. Chuck's getting in my ear, yeah, talk to Michael, yeah. So my mouth is moving, I'm jawing at MJ. And I remember Michael looking at me, coming out the third and fourth quarter. Well, Michael ended with 40, and I ended with 12. That's when I knew, I better step up my game and let my game do the talking to me, and which makes this night so incredible. And I'm only talking because I'm the last person to talk and I had the last say. We've got, in my opinion, the 3 greatest players ever assembled in one room tonight in Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and Cheryl Miller. This is truly special. Look, I know I can't name everyone, but look, everyone's been with me along this journey. Sam Smith, who's been a big proponent, thank you so much for everything that you've done for me throughout my career. I know there's a big Pacer contingency here, David Benner, David Craig, who was a longtime trainer, Hard in the Paint, my crew. Look, thank you guys so much. This is truly an honor to just be a part and witness all these great athletes. Thank you very much, and God bless.